Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been actually it's been forever, but it feels like forever, but I'm back. I was on vacation. I went to Mykonos, Greece. While I was in Greece, I really just used that time to relax and just decompress because I was starting to get very overwhelmed with YouTube in terms of the right time to post, the best content, thumbnail, the comparison game, and just concerned about the numbers, all these little things that doesn't matter. So I definitely needed that trip and I needed to just be off my phone and relax. And I'm glad I was able to use that time to do that. What I will say is that that trip was so short. If you're ever in Europe or in America and you're trying to go to Europe, I definitely recommend being there for a week because I was there for like, what, 5 days. But it takes like a day to get there, and then they're 8 hours ahead. So I've already lost so much of my time. Then I was jet lagged. It was just taken away from the vacation. However, I'm still glad that I got to go, even if it was a short period of time. The people of Mykonos are so sweet, and it's a very beautiful area. If you guys want me to do a separate video just talking about my experience there and a few pictures and stuff, let me know and I will definitely do that. But what I will say is that Europeans have a strong RBF, okay? When I got to Greece, I went from Athens, Greece, and then Athens to Mykonos, Greece. Everyone in the airport had a strong RBF, but once you start talking to them, they're really sweet. I also feel like Europe is just the area where people just only speak when spoken to, which I don't have a problem with that, but it's definitely the complete opposite of being in Texas, where people love to talk, love to come up to you, love to smile, and it's like a meet and greet every day, especially being at work. When I went from Athens to Mykonos, that flight was so quiet. You would have thought it was a law to be quiet on the airplane because nobody was really talking, everybody was quiet, and I fell asleep. And then when I woke up, we were there. It was only like maybe a 45-minute flight, but yeah, everyone definitely minds their business out there, and I love it. Anyways, let's get on to the real topic at hand. What happened when I came back from Mykonos? My reserve bucket started on a Wednesday and then it ended on a Saturday. I came back from Europe Wednesday morning. Now, I do not recommend doing what I did, being on call and being on a plane. However, you already know this is the do as I say, not as I do community. If you are on probation, I do not recommend at all flying while you are on call. If you are off probation, you have a little more wiggle room, just a little bit, to play around and take risks, okay? But also keep in mind that my seniority has gone up and I like to take risks, unfortunately. But do as I say, not as I do. Anyways, so I got back on Wednesday, picked Pepper up from camp, and luckily, by the grace of God, I was not called. I was so glad that I did not get called because number one, I needed that rest. I needed to unpack. I was jet lagged. And I had just taken Pepper from camp. He was in camp for all those days, and I didn't want to just bring him home, leave him home, and then go take a 4-day trip, because then he would be tripping, okay? He gets stressed out very easily. He has like a separation anxiety, so we gotta have some days where I'm at home. So I had that Wednesday to myself, did not get called by crew support. The next day, however, I did get called. I had a 1 p.m. showtime. I had a 2-day. So I had a little more time to gather myself at home. Also, another tidbit, I always clean my home before I go on vacation. Let me know in the comments if you guys do that. It was just so nice to walk in a clean home where all I have to do is light a candle and the mood is set, clean home. It was so nice. Anyways, Thursday to Friday I had to work. Now, my schedule was actually not bad. It was 2 legs that I had to work. I was the forward flight attendant, and then the last leg was actually a deadhead, which, if you don't know what a deadhead is, deadheading is when the company will pay you to basically be a passenger on the assigned flight, so I don't have to do any work, and I will get paid hourly based on the time that we're in the air from the time we get to the said location. So we had a deadhead to College Station, Texas, and then I stayed there. We were done at around maybe 2 or 3 o'clock. And then the next day we had to report at 5:15 a.m. and work 3 legs. And then we were done by about 12 in the afternoon. So that trip was fine. I didn't have any issues with the passengers. The other flight attendant was cool. However, the captain was a line check airman, which basically he does line checks, IOEs, all that good stuff for the first officer. Listen, the landing of the newbies, bless it, okay? Bless their heart, they're new, so I'm not even about to do the most. Let me just tell y'all, I had to get a massage after that because it was obviously their first day on the job. It was crazy. If you're ever on a flight and you notice that your captain is a line check holder, be prepared and make sure you are in brace position for takeoff and landing because it might get a little hectic. Anyway, so that was Thursday and Friday. Saturday, I got called the day of at 3:45 for a 5:45 report time. And I have some B-roll here that I will insert so you guys can see what happened. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So really quickly, I wanted to chat with you guys live, okay, in the field where it's real. So I got called today. This is the last day of my reserve bucket. And of course I'm on PM shift 9 to 9. They called me at 3:45 for a 5:45 showtime, okay? I come into work and I was looking on the flight board trying to find my trip. I could not find my trip on the flight board. Also, I noticed that there's another flight attendant. However, we don't have a captain assigned for the trip. So not only could I not find the trip like on the flight board, but it doesn't matter because we're not going to be able to go anywhere without a captain anyway. So I reached out to crew support, trying to figure out the location of where I'm supposed to be located when the flight actually does leave. They didn't have any information for me. They transferred me to like the dispatch crew. The dispatch crew let me know that the flight that I'm taking is going to be a ferry flight, which is a flight with no passengers, just crew members. We're going to take that flight to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And then from there, we're gonna work the flight to come back to Dallas and then call it a day. All right, y'all, so the time is now 7:30 p.m. We still do not have a captain assigned to this trip. So the rest of my crew members are here. We're all ready to go. We've all been here since 5:45. But however, crew support has yet to find a captain who's able to work this trip. They did put it on open time to see if there's any captains who may be at home or, you know, who may be on reserve, who want to make some extra money and want to pick up this trip. This has officially become a dummy mission, just sitting in the airport, waiting for a captain to get assigned and to get here so that we can go to Santa Fe and take the flight back. Now, the issue that we're going to run into is that this is the last day of my reserve bucket, which means that I'm supposed to be off at 9 p.m. today, or at least by the end of today. But this trip is gonna go into the middle of the night. I'm going to give in-flight a call and see what are the parameters, because crew support might owe me, you know, a little bit of incentive or an extra day off because we're gonna run into my off day. but I will keep you guys posted. Let me know if you guys are enjoying the little bit of B-roll that I'm giving you guys, and I will keep you posted on the dummy mission. Also, please drop a blue heart for me, okay? And I will see you guys in a few. The final verdict of what happened for that dummy mission was that at 8:30 p.m., crew support removed the trip off of my schedule and I was released. So basically that dummy mission lasted from 5:30 to 8:30 of just walking around, looking like a dummy in uniform, sitting in idle, waiting on what to do next, waiting for a captain to come. A captain never got put on the schedule, so they just had to drop the trip completely. And let me just say this. Not only did I sit at the airport from 5:30 to 8:30, basically doing nothing, let's not forget that I got ready, put my uniform on, drove to the airport, got on the shuttle, went through KCM, and then sat there for 3 hours. And that is the life of being a flight attendant. That's what I mean when I say dummy mission. Typically, I will have a dummy mission, you know, every other month or so, but it will be because of weather. It's actually never been because of a pilot shortage. So what you're hearing on the news about a pilot shortage is real, okay? So let's talk about what's really been on my mind. So Thursday, when I was sitting in my hotel room, just sitting there idle, had a lot of time to think. And I was just thinking about how being a flight attendant is such a lonely job, okay? Loneliness is the new pandemic, especially in the airline industry. My work routine consists of going to work, being upbeat, surrounded by all walks of life, making sure that they are safe and feel welcomed and enjoying their flight, or at least having a safe flight. And then I take about 2 to 4 flights in one day, go to a hotel, sit in that hotel, and prepare to do it all over again the next day. And sometimes we just don't have enough time to go out and explore. It may be raining at the overnight that we're at. They may not have Uber access. The places that I want to go to may be too far. It's a number of things that may limit me from leaving the hotel room. When you're constantly in a hotel room alone by yourself, you can just feel like you're sitting in idle. You can feel alone. That can migrate to loneliness. That can also migrate to feeling desperate for either love, attention, a warm body, whatever the case may be. And I think that's what ultimately leads to flight attendants just leaving the job or relying on other substances and alcohol to suppress those feelings that you have when you're alone all the time. I say all this to say, if you know a flight attendant, please check on them, okay? Check on them, make sure they're okay, especially the ones who have just become flight attendants, who don't have seniority to be off during holidays where those times are spent with family or friends. Also, check on those flight attendants who are single and they don't have a pet, because coming home after a long, hard-working, boring overnight of a 3-day and coming home to no Pepper, like, what? What is life? I don't know. I don't know what life would be at all. Y'all tell me in the comments, because I don't know. I hope y'all are okay, because what is life with no pets? Let me know in the comments if you're a flight attendant and you've experienced, you know, just the feeling of loneliness, and what do you do after you observe this feeling? How do you like to go about your day from there?